Hi, my name's Kat Boyd and welcome to the second of my weekly videos about politics in Scotland, in the UK and beyond. And this week we're on a similar theme to last week. Last time I was talking about MPs and how they've awarded themselves a massive pay rise. And I was talking about why politicians should take a worker's wage. But the truth is that the role of money in corrupting politics in the UK goes far, far deeper than just politicians' salaries. The biggest problem is the dirty cash from big business that flows right into the veins of our democracy. And this is the silent crisis of British democracy. There's no scandal here. There's no outraged editorials. There's no establishment commentators demanding reform of how political parties are funded. Instead, the British press, who are almost owned outright by Tory backers, are ratcheting up the pressure on Labour's funding from the trade unions. So let's look at the numbers, and really, they say it all. The Tories, for the last general election, received £15 million in donations. All of the other parties, Labour, the SNP, the Greens, all the rest, received £12 million combined. And let's look at where that Tory cash is coming from. It's coming from property tycoons, from hedge fund managers, from big business, the places that ex-Tory MPs tend to end up when they don't make it into the House of Lords. So why is it that all we ever seem to hear about is how the trade unions control Labour, and we never hear about how these millionaires are running the Tory party? If the unions had never funded Labour in the past, then we would always have had Tory governments. Because Westminster is a deeply flawed electoral system where the party with the most cash to throw at marginal seats wins. Historically, without trade union funding, the working class might as well just not have bothered with British democracy. There would have been no NHS, no welfare state, and no rights for workers. But the sad truth is that union money hasn't prevented the Labour Party from becoming yet another party of business. And as we've seen over the last few decades, the progressive agenda of the trade union movement has lost so much influence. And we saw that just recently when Labour MPs sat on their hands as the Tories attacked the welfare state that we fought for. Ordinary people must have a voice in our democracy. That's the centre of building progressive politics. And clearly right now we can see that this system isn't working. If we want ordinary people to have a voice, then we need to find new ways of challenging the system for funding political parties. I think Scotland can do better. We've got a unique opportunity to come up with alternatives to the dirty flow of cash into democracy. Some people think that with social media and new technologies that the playing field has already been levelled. But we can't forget that for the last general election, the Tories spent £100,000 a month on Facebook campaigning. It's not exactly the sort of money that we've got lying around. But I'm not sure that straightforward state funding is the answer either. It would just maintain the existing political parties, and all new grassroots electoral challenges would just be shut out permanently. I think a much better solution is something called the democracy card. So the government would give every citizen a small amount of money, say 20 quid, and we could use it, or not, to fund a political candidate of our choice. Candidates would then have to go to the people to fund their election campaign and not the City of London lobbyists. And politicians would have a new, real incentive to impress us rather than pandering to corporate interests. And if parties wanted to keep going back to the corporate hands that feed them, then they could. But here's the catch. Any party taking money from the democracy card would be banned from taking money from those rich and powerful vested interests. So the choice for politicians would be democracy card cash or corporate cash. Then every single citizen would know which parties chose to be funded by the people and which parties chose to be funded by the elites. It would expose this silent crisis in the UK political system. Something like the democracy card would be a break from the old way of doing things. And really, isn't it about time that we ended the old tradition of corporate funded politics and began a new era where citizens are really in control? So what do you think? How do you think political parties should be funded? Subscribe to my YouTube channel, take part in the discussion, and see you next week.